we know who the 49ers will be playing. That's huge. The divisional round set. It is 49ers. It is Packers, one of the most storied rivalries in the NFC or really the NFL in general. It's huge. This is gigantic. Now, the narratives on top of just these two teams playing each other, we're going to discuss what's important for the 49ers. We're going to talk matchups. I'm going to get through some of these questions, comments, and all those things, but this is a glimpse into the future. A shout out to the Malcolm in the Middle like meme. The future is now, old man. Like, this is new. This is Brock Purdy. This is Jordan Love. These are two of the top young quarterbacks in the NFL. This is the start of a new thing. This is something that I think that we will be seeing for a while. Now, what we know, okay, here's what we know. We know 49ers, Packers. They're the 7th seed, so the 49ers are the 1 seed. This is best case scenario. Why is that? One, we'll talk more throughout the week about what the Packers are, and I'll dive in some of that for sure. But you're playing the lowest seed. That's the best news. It's a 1-7 matchup. Now, are the Packers a bad team? No, they're not. But they're also not a special team. Jordan Love is playing incredible. But this is also a team that has 0 Pro Bowlers. There were only 4 teams in the NFL that had no Pro Bowlers. This is one of those teams. Now, they're a very quality team in the fact that they have, their depth is good. They don't have a lot of weaknesses, but they don't have a lot of studs. Jordan Love's incredible. They're young wide receivers. They have all flash, and they kind of had taken turns on who's going to be great. But guys and gals, keep in mind, this is a Shanahan-light system. LaFleur is Shanahan's guy. And he's never been with the 49ers. But, I spent some time just going through his coaching tree. He runs our scheme. And it's a watered-down version of that. Shanahan is the master of this whole scheme and all that it is. But, look at this. LaFleur was roommates in college, or not college, but whenever they were GAs way up. And I think it was it Western Michigan? Yeah, under Brian Kelly. That's Central Michigan. So in one of those. Anyway, Shanahan brings him to Houston in 2008 and 2009, 2 years as an offensive QC. Whenever he was at Houston. Then Shanahan brought him to Washington with his dad. He was there for 3 years as a quarterback coach. Then Shanahan brought him to Atlanta for 2 years, 2015, 2016, as a quarterback coach. Then he left to go coach with McVay and the Rams in 2017, then Titans 2018. Then he became the head coach of the Packers in 2019. So 1, 2, that's 5. 6, 7. I mean, this dude was with Kyle Shanahan for 7 consecutive seasons. He has taught him from quality control coach to quarterbacks coach to what he is now. And if you remember, there's lots of new things to this matchup, which I love. Aaron Rodgers could never beat the 49ers. He was 0-4 against them in the playoffs. Well, that time is gone. He's gone. And so now the 49ers will be playing the Packers on Saturday. It just makes too much sense. It gives the 49ers the best advantage. The number 1 seeds last year both played on Saturday, because that's huge because we'd get an extra day's rest. That's paramount. The Packers are relatively healthy, but Jair Brown, kind of the star of the game today and one of their best players, I would argue probably is their best player. He re-aggravated his ankle. I don't think he's been back in. I saw them take away his helmet on the side. We'll see what happens there, but I expect him to play. But yeah, we'll see. Steven says, I kept saying Green Bay would sneak this game. This is epic. Yeah, it really is. And they have played well. The Packers could have put up 100 points against this Cowboys defense. 100%. Now, right here, and this is, this happens every single game. I can only speak from my perspective. It does not matter what the game is, who the game is against, road, playoffs, home game, doesn't matter. I get about 5 to 10 messages. This is a trap game. I'm scared. I'm whatever. Joe, you're not alone, okay? Am I scared of the Packers? Guys, listen to me right now. No, I'm not scared of the Packers. Not even a little bit. This Packers team is a team that even in this month, the past 4 weeks, has lost to the Giants and the Bucks back-to-back. Now, is this Packers team a good team? Yes. Is any given Sunday a real thing? Yeah. Can the Packers beat the 49ers? Yeah, they can. Of course they can. They're a good football team with a good quarterback and a good coaching staff. They're good. Calm down now. Here's the thing. They run a Shanahan light system on offense. Our defense is completely different than theirs. We have a more talented defense. We have a much more talented offense. Maybe their offensive line's better than ours collectively, but no. Understand this. Whenever the spread comes out, the 49ers are probably going to be 5.5 to 6.5 point favorites. I don't know off the top of my head, but the Niners are going to be favored drastically, and rightfully so. They're a better team. This is a 9-8 football team that we're talking about with the Green Bay Packers. And, you want to talk, they've won 3 in a row. This would be 4 games in a row. So that's awesome. Who'd they beat? They beat the Cowboys in the playoffs, which is almost like a give me. They beat the Bears, barely. They beat the Vikings, blew them out, and they beat the Panthers, barely, by 3 points. It's not like they're playing great football. This is a great game, and they put on a clinic, and they knew what they were going to do, and they executed it. Dak turns the ball over, all these things. Awesome job. Now you got to do it one more week against the 49ers on a short week after the 49ers have had rest. I don't know where this line's going to open up, but I am pretty freaking excited just to see how bad it's going to be. But I think that the 49ers are going to be touchdown plus favorites. I really, really do. I think they're going to be able to. I'm excited about this matchup for the four. This is best case scenario. And it didn't matter who the 49ers are going to play. You're going to have somebody out there saying, I didn't want to play this team, whether it was the Rams or whether it was the Eagles or the Bucks. My favorite team to play would have been the Eagles or the Bucks. I have been on record saying that multiple times. But play the Packers, the 7th seed, I'll take this all damn day. All day. The 49ers are going to be fine. What do the Packers do? They run the ball very well. Aaron Jones is playing like the best running back in football, which we have. Christian McCaffrey is him. But the past month, he's been incredible. No doubt about it. Jordan Love's playing awesome. We run a completely different scheme. Almost all those Jordan Love passes are just wide open players. Busted coverages. That's a Dan Quinn trait. That's a Deron Bland trait. That's a Javon Curse trait. That's what they do. They are boom, bust. And if you don't get pressure quick, you're going to have busted coverages on the back end. That's Dan Quinn. 49ers don't do that. Our secondary has played very, very well since Steve Wilks has arrived. Very well. In fact, our defense is still playing great, even though we're not generating as much pressure. But if you're getting back Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, right? You're getting back those guys and they're fully healthy coming off rest. That might be the difference. And yeah, right here, we're getting Armstead back. I think that's huge. That is what the 40 excuse me, that's what the 49ers have been waiting for. It's huge. And you were able to afford them to have that much time to rest because of the bye week, because of week 18. You locked up the number 1 seed. The 49ers locked up the 1 seed 2 weeks ago. The Packers had to win the last game of the year just to sneak in. Now they snuck in and they capitalized on it. That's huge, but come on, man. This is right where the Niners will be. The Cowboys are who we thought they were. Dak Prescott is one of the biggest choke artists in the NFL history. He has the exact same amount of playoff wins as Brock Purdy got his rookie year. This is Dak Prescott's 8th season. 8th. Brock did it 1 year. He's equivalent of Dak's entire 8-year career. Mike McCarthy, good Lord. There were 6 consecutive second down run plays. Not one of them went for a first. It was just terrible. It's who the Cowboys are. It's who their Cowboys fans are. And not that all Cowboys fans are bad, just most of them. And so, yeah, they are a fake 2 seed that could beat up on lower talent. And whenever everything goes well, and everybody's talking about how they won 16 games at home, it doesn't matter. When the playoffs come on and the eyes are on you, they lay eggs. That's just what they do. Talk about Dan Quinn. Coaching changes, right? Everybody's like, man, Dan Quinn to Seattle. Please. And I understand that there are legit criticisms about Kyle Shanahan and what he does in the playoffs and big games. I understand that. Look at Dan Quinn. Because it's worse. and you don't even get the positive good during the season of the schematic advantages. I think Dan Quinn's a good coach and a solid DC, but good Lord, you're getting all the negatives of anybody that wants to critique Kyle Shanahan with none of the positives. I really hope he goes to Seattle. I really, really hope that he goes to Seattle. That would be wonderful.
Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.